Shalom. Call halal, Yahweh Bashem Hamushai, Bashem Rakak Badash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners that look like the heathen nations. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. I'm going to go straight to 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. And verse 1, and it reads, And he answered me and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Heard a report that a lot of people who have been fixed up, who've been sauced, are getting sick in the meat industry and other industries. Something about the workers at United Airlines, can't work, and this, that, and the other. And basically, this society is collapsing. And food isn't getting to the shelves, and we've been saying this for a very long time, for years actually. And as of recently, we've been talking about it, going back a year or so, how I first noticed how things were getting light. So for the last 6 months, we really been talking about it. And now all of a sudden it's taking the social media by storm. People posting all over the country. So, this internet is a problem. So they're eventually going to shut that down, which is going to bring on a famine of the word. So every move that these Idumeans make is to their own detriment, to their own fall. There's nothing they can do. And I say bring on the draconian measures and make life impossible, because the moment they do that and put us in a position where we can't do anything, and they start trying to force, electronic things, microscopic electronic things, it's going to cause a problem for them. The Lord's going to come. But I don't want to say too much because they keep deleting my videos even when I don't say anything. Or giving strikes on my channel. So let me play this video right here.
Feels weird picking it up.
And there we go.
Guys, they are totally sold out. You better go buy some now. I was just at Walmart yesterday, and I just want to let you guys know, if you do not have a stockpile of cough, cold, and pain reliever medication, you better get it now. And I mean, go to the store now and get it. I went to Walmart. The shelves were 99% empty of all the cough and cold and pain relievers. Guys, even if you got that thing in your arm, you're still going to get that thing going around. We already have one family member that has it, two other ones that have a cold, and you will just be miserable if you don't have any pain.
Now, this video has 75,433 views. All right. And if I said what she said, if I say anything, they will delete my video, strike my channel, but yet leave this video up. That's how afraid of the men of the Lord, of the prophets, that they are. Because they didn't expect, they didn't believe, and didn't expect that the Great Awakening would happen, that the Israelites would awaken, and that the prophets would come back and start prophesying. This is 2nd Ezra 6:20, and it reads, And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show you these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. Let me go back to these empty shelves. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices, and women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. And that prophecy has come to pass already. Children being born early, and children speaking early. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. That prophecy is happening now as we speak. All right, this is a nationwide issue. Some states more than others. All right, Florida's doing well because they're a red state and they're not playing by the rest of the rules, and they have their own docks and their own ports and stuff like that. But a lot of states that are in the middle, they're not doing so well, which is going to help lead up to this civil war, and these Idumeans already have their troops training to fight their former troops who are more seasoned. You think about it, fighting your former troops who are more seasoned, well, it doesn't look so good for the new guys that are currently in. And that's something that's promised to happen too. The Lord said it's going to happen. And it's all building up. And it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall be found empty. And the trumpet shall give sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. All right. And as a matter of fact, I gotta give the brother ICR, the head of the camp down in Carolina, due credit, because I was watching GMS uponprecepts2. He has a video called Eve's Feminist Mentality and its Destruction of the Household. And the brother sent it to me, and then I watched it. And after watching it, I was, everything else got put on hold through the Spirit. I was like, as soon as I hit the door, I'm going in on this subject matter. All right, so this is the part of it. All right, because a part of these Idumeans fall, Eve falls with them, because Eve is joined unto these Idumeans. And just like in the garden, Eve helped bring destruction upon the world and all of us. And now, through the feminism, going back to the 60s, Eve joined unto Esau, Edom, and helped destroy the household yet again. That's why, we have so many single family household. The man is not there. Lives are ruined. The men are ruined. The women are ruined. And all that was done through this through this feminist movement, which was actually a CIA operation against us as a people. All right. But let's continue on. And it reads, and a trumpet shall give sound, which every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And that's going to be the sounds of the war, the civil war and the war, because it's not looking so good on the world scale either. All right. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. So you're going to have these army guys facing off against each other, these Marines facing off against each other, these soldiers facing off against each other. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of your reserve soldiers are also a part of the militias. So you're going to have a problem. A lot of your cops and law enforcement are also a part of these militias. Your firemen, okay? But it says, and at that time shall friends fight one against another, and the division over the sea thing, the non-vaxxers versus the vaxxers, that's a problem, And it seems that the mainstream media is pushing that narrative because they're order out of chaos. But it says, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and the springs of the fountains shall stand still, and for 3 hours they shall not run. And I'm going to tell you right now, you women who have lived deliciously, because we're going to get on you women, you're not going to live so deliciously or feel so good about it when the water's turned off and the power's turned off. And a lot of you women who have destroyed a lot of these men, got them locked up, got them on child support, ruin their lives, ruin their credits. They can't buy houses, can't buy cars, can't do anything. A lot of these men are going to come pay you a visit. All right, there be spirits created for vengeance, and yeah, it's gonna get real bad out here. All right, because there's gonna be no law enforcement uh, uh, to protect civilians in that matter. All right, they're gonna be trying to protect the elites and whatever assets they're trying to save, that they're trying to reserve for this new system that they're trying to set up. All right, so a lot of you people going to be on your own, and that's for sure. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. So only the elect are going to make it through this. And you know, women outnumber men on average 7-1. And the majority of the 2/3 are women. So a lot of the wrath of the Lord is going to be placed upon women. It's going to be, and you know, I mean, it just is what it is. All right. 2/3 of our people, these wicked males as well, are set to die, and the 1/3 are going to be brought through this. All right, and the majority of the 2/3 are women, and the majority of the 1/3 are women, because the women that do get saved are going to be saved in childbearing. Thus it is written. Isaiah 4:1 tells you very clearly. All right, and it tells you, you know, that they shall be saved in childbearing. You know, that's scriptural. But let's click to this other video.
You had like the Great Society programs of Lyndon Johnson, started in 63, 64?
Mm-hmm.
And because of these Great Society programs, specifically welfare, it incentivized women to basically not worry about having a man. They could fuck around, potentially get pregnant, and the government would give them a check.
And a woman keeps going riding the carousel, eventually she's going to get pregnant. All right. And you also have to, you know, bring into mind that a woman's body is not meant to have multiple penises, especially, you know, the amount of penises that some women take here in Babylon. You know, some women's numbers are in the, you know, over 300, you know, 400 or 500. Some, you know, it's crazy. Some even higher than that. I was watching a video clip where a lady laughed and said 80. She said, and she laughed at that number, you know. She said 80. Shit, I did that before she got out of high school. And she was, you know, she was an attractive woman. I was like, oh my God. That means she was banging everybody at school. All right, and a few of those was probably multiple, you know, at a time. And what you have to understand is that sperm attaches to a woman's DNA, and that's why a lot of women have that fishy odor, you know, that odor that they can't get rid of, no matter how much they clean, wash, or bathe themselves. You know, it's an inward thing, because a woman's body is not meant to be like that. You know, that's her stuff is inward. A man is outward. You know, a man, according to the Bible, is allowed to have multiple women, and there won't be no issue. No diseases or none of that. When all that starts to take place is when, you know, when women start taking penises from different men. All right, from the man that's not her husband. All right, and that's typically when that begins to happen. Then, of course, if you add, you know, these heathens in there, especially these Idumeans with bestiality and all that other crap, because look, gonorrhea, syphilis, and herpes, those were brought here from Europe by you know, these European slave owners and conquistadors and stuff. They brought that stuff here, and they everywhere that they went. You know, I remember watching a video about the Canary Islands, and they came in, and a bunch of half the men got shut up and killed, and then after a couple months there, by the time they left, most of the women on the island had gonorrhea and syphilis. So there it is. But let's let it continue.
And you got welfare queens and all the rest of it. But the point is that, see, women got this sexual liberation because the government, the state, the society was willing to subsidize their sexual misadventures. That's what happened. See? And so because of this, the society basically accepted single mothers. And because it accepted single mothers and it accepted women who would fuck around, it demotivated men. And you have men who are just deciding, fuck this shit. I don't have to deal with this shit. Because all these women, they got so entitled, feeling that they deserve so much, that they figure that they don't have to try to make themselves more feminine, more attractive to attract the right guy. They figure they could be just, slatternly and, fat and ugly and pathetic, and it wouldn't matter because, see, they'd be able to get money from the government or fuck around and, have as much sex as they wanted to and use the law to get the alimony from the potential father of her children, right? And so this adds up and demotivates men. Now, I noted a book called Sex and Culture by a man named J.D. Unwin, Unwin. I suggest you guys read it. You can download it for free as a PDF. This book was written in like the early 1930s. This guy was an anthropologist, a big brain. Oh. In anthropology today, they fucking hate his fucking guts, which tells you that he's probably right, okay?
Yeah.
He basically says this, that all societies, he analyzed like 500 different societies of all sorts, and he came to the following conclusions. Great societies collapse because they become rich, and as they become rich, they are able to subsidize women's sexual promiscuity, and because of it, it demotivates men, and because of it, the society begins to crumble and fall apart, even as the women demand more and more rights and entitlements. Now, does that remind you of any current situation maybe happening anywhere?
United States, right now, right here.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. And that same thing that's what happened in Rome. This is Isaiah 3:11, and it reads, "Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him." So, hey, look, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So this is the failure of Esau, Edom, these Idumeans, and it's coming back to bite them really bad. And it says, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them," and it's not supposed to be that way. The Lord said that He will create a new thing in the earth where a woman shall compass a man, and it was never supposed to be that way. Because once that happens, that society then falls. All right, it said, "O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths." And you've, we've been led by these Idumeans, and Eve joined unto them and helped lead our families into destruction. And now let's stop taking away anything from the wicked men of our nation, right? But most of the wicked men of our nation today came out of households, those broken homes where the fathers were driven away and not there, where Eve made those alliances to those teats, sucking off the teats of Esau, Edom, and his goodies, which helped motivate them to. Because every time you put a man on child support, you actually help destroy your nation. Point blank, period. Because that system is a foul, corrupt, immoral system. It even tells you in their own bylaws that the child support was never meant for the child, but for the state treasury. So it was never about, So they set the woman free. It was a perfect okie doke setup. They set the woman free to have sex with anyone. And then punish a man for doing what comes natural, for desiring a woman and want to have sex with her. All right. So whether you marry her or you don't marry her, if you marry her and have children, as soon as your marriage fails, they capitalize big time because they have a system set up for that. And if even she's a complete stranger, that happens often too, that you have no connection to, just a hookup. Hookups get pregnant all the time. As a matter of fact, what's his name? Probably one of the most righteous things he ever said, Donald Trump. He was talking about that sort of situation. The woman gets nothing, and that would actually be good. But unfortunately, a lot of women that are getting child support, guess what? It was from hookups. The guy was never with them in the first place. They weren't like a couple or a thing like that. They were just hooked up. She wanted some penis. He gave it to her, and you know, and she got pregnant, whether it was on purpose or accidental, however it happened. And a lot of these women set traps for men, you know. Beware of the woman with all the tattoos and the piercings, especially if she got one in her mouth, the tongue, all right. And she has condoms in the drawers next to her bed, or on her, you know, that right. And if you are physically what she like, or if you if she thinks that you have, you know, the finances that she likes, she'll give you one of them condoms that's got holes poked in it. Yeah. So and that's happened quite a bit. But let's shoot up to and get ready to wrap this thing up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just start at 14 and keep reading. It says, "The Lord will enter the judgment with the ancient of his people and the princes thereof, for ye shall have eaten up the vineyard and spoiled the poor in your houses. What mean ye that ye beat my people to pieces and grind the faces of the poor, saith Yahweh power of hosts? Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking mincely as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore, Yahweh will smite with the scab the crown of the head and the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts." And, you know, Jada Pinkett is a perfect example of that right now. She has no hair and that scar on her head. So that's how you know who the real Judite woman is. That's yet another way, I would say. All right. Yeah, and it says, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. And it says, and in that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their cauls and their round tires like the moon. And women don't look like Thelma from Good Times collectively like they used to anymore. You know, most of these women, they don't have hair. Their shoulders are wider than their hips. They don't have those round butts like they used to. Meanwhile, the heathen women, you know, now some of it may be that BBL, whatever the hell that means. But it's funny how over the years, the heathen women are getting more voluptuous and our women are not, collectively, especially the Judite woman. Now, you know what? That goes for the Northern Kingdom woman is too. You know, a lot of Northern Kingdom women got them box bodies, you know, square, no shape, wide hips, no butt. They're not gorgeous like they used to be, man. All right? And you know, and as America falls, so are these women. So, you know, for you women who are watching, if the shoe fit, wear it. Because if you're offended, if you're one of these women watching, or one of these men is watching, if you're offended by it, then you're guilty. All right? And I would say, you know, to repent. But for some of you, you're past the point of repenting. You can't. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash, Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yashua, Shalom.